Welcome to Valerie's R.E.A.L Talk podcast. My name is Valerie Smith and I'm your host. Today is episode 32 and I have a great topic that I want to speak on, and that is the importance of learning. Every day I would say that it's important to learn a skill, to keep yourself marketable at all times. Not only are we working more with less, but however, we have to really take the time to understand the importance of learning. You see it in the news, you see it on social media, the importance of upskilling our talent in the new future of work. Not only in the future of work, but also, if you are an entrepreneur, you also have to be learning as well. Our leaders have to understand that even though we climb the ranks, it's important to take ownership, to have autonomy, to upskill and learn different skills, because by 2030, it's going to be needed. When our leaders take ownership and learn a new skill, they are showing an example to their teams, as well as entrepreneurs. When entrepreneurs are learning new skills, their teams are also looking up to them. It's very important that we stay abreast to what is going on, not only in your country, but worldwide. We have to establish a global mindset. I'm going to say it again. You have to establish a global mindset. Around the world, different countries, different cities are learning and grasping skills. Not only are they grasping skills and teaching their citizens on what skills are needed before 2030, they also have reports. They have reports that they share online. I always do my searches under the UK, Nordic countries, Singapore, and it's very important that for yourself, whatever industry that you're in, whatever country that really resonates with you, do the research. Find out what skills are in demand and start taking the courses. Now, there are some people who are going to be skeptical and they're wondering, is it going to be needed by 2030? We don't know that. All we know is that the future is now, and if you have a gut feeling that this is a skill that's going to be needed, wouldn't that make you, one, a knowledge worker, two, and it will also make you very marketable, not within your organization, but within your team. And if you really, number three, become a thought leader within that skill, then that will be something that your company will really acknowledge and keep you on board as one of their knowledge workers. Because you always need someone that's very passionate about the future. You don't want to be those corporations or an individual who is working and never know what's happening right now. That's why it's important to understand why learning is important. It increases your skill set, your mindset, your communication skills. When you're networking with people from different organizations around the world, this is what makes you exceptional and extraordinary, because you don't live in fear. You're not living in doubt. wonder if I'm just studying this here skill and it's never going to be in its fruition by maybe 2026 or 2030. Things do happen. I remember when I was abreast on learning about the future of work back in 2010. And when I joined Toastmasters, I was doing a lot of my speeches around the future of work. And then eventually I took a class, not with Toastmasters, but with another organization on what the future of work would look like. And one of them was talking about the topic of virtual working from anywhere, on the beach, in another state, in another country. And when the pandemic happened, fast forward 10 years later, we're working from home. The future of work has been studied for years before 2020. And that is the reason why a lot of your countries were getting the skill sets together on what their citizens or employees should be learning before 2020. This is the reason why we have to have a new mindset that the future is now. We cannot wait until 2030 to train employees. Not at all. Very important things for individuals. And you could be an individual contributor, you could be a mid-level manager, you could be in the C-suite and in the board. But it's very important that you say, I don't have to learn anything. I made it. No. That's limited mindset. You think that because you made it to the top that you cannot learn anything new. The world is changing. This is the reason why you have to understand why learning is important. And it is. Because you're going to look back and say, wow, wonder if I did not learn that skill. How will I train my team? Or vice versa. If you're an individual contributor and you love reading, the first thing you're going to say is to your team, this is what I've been learning. This is something that we're going to really need by 2026 to 2020 to 2030, because 2020 is gone. Can you believe it? It's 2024. And 6 years, it'll be 2030. Time is flying. And we have to think about the future. What are we doing now to prepare? And that is learning new skills and sharing it amongst your employees, your leaders, the whole entire organization. And even if you're not working, always upskill, always learn, volunteer, join the organization. If you don't want to join the organization, just apply for any learning opportunities that you see is going to work within your industry, that you see that is happening around the world. I want to give you some homework. I want you to get your journal. I want you to get your, maybe a pad of paper. I want you to list the name of your industry that you're in right now and start researching. It could be magazines, it could be databases, it could be surveys, it could be within your own organization that you can talk to, like a data scientist, on how to find out what skills are needed in the future of your industry. It's very important, it's very crucial that you stay abreast on what is happening in your industry, as well as professional development for yourself. But always stay ready. always stay ready at all costs, because being a knowledge worker is going to be very much needed between 2026 through 2030. And we're not knocking artificial intelligence, but you're still going to need human intelligence. This is the reason why you need to understand why learning is important. I want to say thank you for joining me today, this afternoon, this evening, or morning with me, Valerie Smith. And I look forward to seeing you next week for episode 33.